Welcome to this week's edition of the Cheap Pop Podcast with K-Double and Alpha. Boys, take it away.
The following Four Aces production is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is highly advised.
Hello. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Anyway, I always got to give my quick impression at the beginning of the show. My name is Double K, the one and only HBK. If any of you noticed at that Royal Rumble, AJ Styles giving this shout out to HBK during his interest. I am Double K, and I am here as always with the gentleman that you see there in his Bullet Club shirt, the one, the only, Mr. Alpha. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today, my boys? It's not Christmas. It's Christmas for Alpha, though. It's fucking Rumble season, my boys.
As Michael Cole has said,
Rumble.
As Michael Cole has said 80 times this last month, the road to WrestleMania begins now.
Exactly. Rumble season is my favorite time of year. I'm more juiced about this shit than I am for my own birthday, as always. But let's get into the show.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so let's see. Royal Rumble was an interesting hodgepodge of matches this year. We opened the show with the Universal Championship match. Okay. Universal Championship match featuring Seth freaking Rollins taking on this dude, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Oh, and the Usos were banned from ringside.
Yeah. God, this fucking match.
I like the open. Seth coming out in the Shield gear was classic. Like, definitely, like, okay, that was pretty cool. But the match itself was pretty damn good. Like, despite what anybody may want to say, like they told a story out there.
God, yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the best match of either's career, but it was a damn good match. What were your thoughts on it, sir?
God, I fucking love this match. Like, I really like that the whole point of this feud is kind of based around Seth Rollins just antagonizing the shit out of the now calm, cool, and like icy Roman Reigns. It's fucking awesome. The adding frickin' into his name, I'll always love, because my favorite will always be when he was Tyler fucking Black on the Indies and he became Seth freaking Rollins. So I love the harkening back to that. But I feel like it even adds more to his demeanor, just being a cocky little asshole again, and I love it. And playing even more into this whole idea of just constant mind games with Roman, he came out to one of the coolest fucking entrances in Rumble history, where he used his old ring gear and the old theme. And thinking back on it, like, possibly his little knock wasn't just to antagonize Roman. It was a foreshadowing of that.
Yeah.
But it's fucking awesome, and the match itself was amazing. Who would have thought two best friends in the world have good chemistry in the ring? Big fucking surprise. They've always had great matches together. This is their umpteenth time doing this, and it's amazing every time. And I love the dynamic that they had this time. And the spots were fucking dope, and I will always mark the fuck out for a pedigree catching into the fucking spear. Like, I love that fucking spot so much.
Now, here's the funny thing. This match ended perfectly. And the reason why I say it ended perfectly is because this match was not supposed to happen. This is not where we were supposed to be at right now with the story that they were trying to tell. And so they gave us the match that we wanted, but managed to keep everything the way it was supposed to be, which is with Roman holding the Universal title most likely now till WrestleMania. And Seth Rollins still coming off looking like he really is in Roman Reigns' head, and Roman Reigns, you know, and he really, and then keeping his win or his undefeated streak against Roman Reigns in singles competition alive. You know, by him winning by disqualification, you keep the belt where it's supposed to be, and you keep Seth's streak alive so that streak can come back to haunt Roman later on down the road.
Exactly.
You know?
And I don't know if it's just on part of the fact that Roman is A, just a really good actor, or B, just really good at pacing these sequences. But the finish to the match with the DQ finish didn't feel contrived at all. It didn't feel like it was happening to make sure that Roman would stay over and keep the belt. To me, it felt like Roman was genuinely and actually fucking snapping and then taking revenge on it, because it felt very real when he said last week that he would never forgive Seth for breaking up the Shield. Like, that was fucking genuine, and I loved that. And that's what the ending of this match felt like. It didn't feel like it was just to make this stretch on even more. Like it flat out felt like a mental break for Roman, and I like that because that really plays into the mind game situation that they have going on.
And to add to it, my fiance found a article stating that Seth admitted that he was modeling this particular character after the Joker. And you know what? Roman Reigns just showed us exactly what Batman should have been doing with the Joker all along. When he went off with that chair,
killing joke shades.
You know, when he went off with that chair post match, that was my moment right there. I was like,
"Oh, good. I liked that."
Oh, I feel you, brother.
That felt fucking vitriolic. That felt fucking real. I like that.
But it left us with a strange opening to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Because the crowd was like not feeling that ending, like at all. Like, and they let them know, which is great. That's what crowds are supposed to do.
I like that.
You know, I liked it. You know, not only because it got Roman some more true heat as a heel.
Exactly.
But let's see. We went from there to the Women's Royal Rumble match. A match that some would say felt rushed. I don't know if it did. Like, I thought it was properly paced. They had a lot of surprises. Some we already knew about. Like, let's start there. I love the fact that Mickie James was in it. I love the fact that Mickie James uses her Impact theme. And I love the fact that she came out carrying her Impact women's title.
I was going to say the best part about this was, for me, was A, because I'm a fucking Mickie James mark. I love the fact that she came out to her Impact theme. And B, she came out with the Knockouts title, which is a big fucking thing in my opinion. Like that for me, that's not a small detail.
Yep.
I think that's very fucking important. And for me, that was fucking awesome.
And to make things better, she wasn't used as a side note. She may not have won, but she actually had a good showing in the match. She wasn't just used as a side note. She didn't just come in like, I hate to say it, even though it was a great segment, unlike Ivory.
Yeah.
You know, who was just kind of there for no reason but to be there, you know, just to fill a slot.
Kind of like Vicky Guerrero in the Rumble before last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but Mickie didn't feel like that. Mickie felt like she came in to compete, and she did.
Yeah. I really liked Mickie James' performance. It was wonderful.
And I don't know when the last time that a champion or a wrestler in general from another promotion came and actually competed in WWE/F's Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to know that particular factoid.
You're right.
But we'll see.
Well, would that be AAA? in 96, 97, 95.
AAA.
No, way earlier, because I know that was when they had that exchange program in the Rumble with a Mexican promotion. I don't know if it was CML or AAA, but they had Latin Lover, Mil
Wow.
Mascaras, and then one other person.
That actually competed
But
in the Rumble.
yeah, but off the top of my head, I remember that. I don't know if that's the last one, but I do
I would have
remember
to say,
that.
because I can't remember anybody that wasn't making their WWE debut. I don't mean like that, like somebody that was just making their WWE debut after signing with WWE from another company. I mean
No,
somebody who was like under contract with another company. No, I know what you're saying,
yeah,
and you're completely. I think you're completely right. I want to say that was the
yeah,
last time, but I can't think of a time since then
exactly.
when it has ever been anybody that's just came in and did a one-off, in the Royal Rumble to do it.
Yeah,
I've seen them brought in while they were with other companies to do like Hall of Fame and stuff like
but
that.
to
But
compete in the Rumble, wholly different.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
so
the only reason I remember that is because I remember the exact wordage of like it was like an exchange program. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
exchange program. So well, it led down to like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. When we got down to like our final five, which I think was like Rhea Ripley, I want to say Lita was in there, Charlotte
Yeah.
Flair, Rousey, and I think that was it. I was like, all right, don't tell me Flair's really about to do this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, please, no, she won it last year. That was enough. You
Okay, good.
know,
I didn't want to do what Alpha does, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah, no, it got down to final two, and I was sitting there like, look, bro, I fucking hate Ronda so much, but if Charlotte walks out with this win, I'm turning off this shit right now. I'm not doing this shit again.
Oh man. I saw it like this. I like the fact that Ronda Rousey won. I like the fact that she came back. I think she's going to inject some much needed life into the women's division that recently has gotten stale. With Becky and Charlotte both at the top, Ronda Rousey is the perfect antagonist to bring back. Nobody else makes any sense. But Ronda Rousey, that makes sense. The three women that were the first in a triple threat match to headline
Yeah,
WrestleMania, yeah, that made sense. So
absolutely.
so as much as everybody else was disappointed that Ronda Rousey won, first of all, she's never won the Rumble before because she's never competed in one before. So now she's added another career accolade, which I don't mind. If you look at the people that we thought were the favorites outside of before ever knowing that Ronda Rousey was there, all of them have had their moments before. Charlotte Flair won it last year, or not won it last year. Charlotte Flair won it like 2 years ago. Bianca Belair won it last year. You know what I'm saying? Like almost every woman, the only one that I thought was a dark horse that might come out of it was Lita. I thought they may
and
give
that was
Lita her
purely
moment.
only because Edge won it last year. If
Yeah.
Edge hadn't won it last year, I wouldn't have believed it. But that for me did genuinely give me that little glimmer that Lita would have.
And so because of that, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm just like, Ronda Rousey makes the most sense. As much as we may hate Rousey, there's two factors. It's the same reason I tell people when they're like, Brock Lesnar is boring. Yes, but the dude puts butts in the seat. Like I cannot deny him that. Like he is a guy that attracts people to watch the show that he is on or whatever he is doing. So, and Ronda Rousey is that type too. She attracts eyes, and that's what WWE wants and needs right now. So Ronda Rousey attracts eyes. So it made sense. It made sense more her than Charlotte Flair for the second time in 3 years.
My thing
Even
is
with the whole storyline of her choosing her challenger and all that bullshit, like it makes more sense than Charlotte Flair.
That is true. My only thing is this though: if they were gonna have Ronda come in and win it, I'd prefer that she wouldn't fight Becky, and that's for one reason only.
Yeah,
because we're walking into Mania with Brock versus Roman with face and heels swapped, and then we're walking into Mania with Ronda and Becky again with faces and heels swapped. Those are our main events.
Yeah.
And my only thing is that the only difference is we've seen these matches before, same beats and builds up now, just with the people switch spots. We've had Roman win in the Rumble and set up for Brock, and now we're having the same thing. And Same with Ronda, and that in line is where's my problem with this, and that's my only problem in the choice in this.
Fair enough.
That is my only problem, and it isn't even like, oh, because like of course I fucking hate Ronda Rousey. I hate Ronda Rousey. Of course I didn't want to fucking see her win. I prefer this goes to someone who is an actual wrestler who has been wrestling and actually stuck to the business when things got tough. That is a jab.
well, she didn't necessarily bounce because shit got tough. She wanted to have a kid, and so lived out her dream.
When she took the break before that is when I mean.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When she had that huge meltdown after Money in the Bank. No, I respect her. I respect her starting a family and everything. I respect that 100%. But having a huge meltdown and dropping wrestling when you gain any amount of actual heat, if any other wrestler did that, that'd be unacceptable.
Well, but it's her though. I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying let it go because it's her. I'm saying it's not. She stopped fighting in the UFC primarily because the rest of the women's division caught up to her.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like she got knocked out 3 times, or what? She got knocked out 2 out of the last 3 fights that she had, and she lost all 3 of her last 3 fights. And she knew it was time to go. Her time was done. You know what I'm saying? She was over with. The women's division had figured her out. So she moved on to pro wrestling, which was a dream of hers anyway when she was still young enough to do it.
That's not to say that I don't respect that. I do agree with you 100% when I say that she deserves to be here, and I love UFC fighters and MMA fighters transitioning to wrestling. Love that. Don't get me wrong.
But no. What I was going to say, though, is that but her breakdown and quitting, because obviously she came back, her breakdown and quitting of wrestling prior to her sabbatical for having a kid is indicative of exactly what we saw in the UFC. You know what I'm saying?
That is very true.
The realism that she's not the baddest person in the room at what she's doing sometimes has. Now, I'm assuming that this time around, at being a mother, etc., she's kind of grounded herself a little bit more. So her attitude, like, not to say her attitude was bad when she was during her first run, because from everything that the people in the locker room said, they said she was amazing. She was respectful, so on and so forth. But that her coming into it this time is going to be a little bit different because she is the baddest woman on the planet, but she's not coming hot off her UFC career. You know what I'm saying? So like that was the big thing about the last time when she came out is it was hot off her UFC career. Now she's not hot off her UFC career. She's a former WWE champion and she's coming back to wrestling. And so I'm down because they said she's supposedly supposed to be around. The contract she signed is going to have her around through WrestleMania 39. So we've got a full-time Ronda Rousey for the next year.
I'll take that.
So
I'll take that.
I just hope her promos have gotten better because I'm sorry, I love her to death. She looks like a jacked up Julia Stiles. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like buff Julia Stiles. Like they're both beautiful. She just looks like a buff version of Julia Stiles.
You're looking like She-Hulk and shit. I feel
but she's beautiful nonetheless. But I just hope that because her acting skills, like I watched Untouchables. Was it Untouchables? No, not Untouchables. The movie with Sylvester Stallone, The Expendables. I saw her in the third Expendables movie, and I'm just saying, like Ronda acting. I saw you in the what's the movie? The movie that was Empire, not Empire. With Turtle and all them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But her in that movie, she wasn't that good. At Fast and Furious, my God,
Fast and Furious.
Great fight scene, horrible acting.
You cannot knock her as an athlete or a stuntman for that matter. I'll put it that way because I'll put it like that. But she does have some promo skills, but I will put it in this match. She did still perform well. Physically speaking, she performed well. And I will not take that away from her. And I have not taken that away from her, and I refuse to because she's an incredible fucking athlete.
Amazing. So before we run out of time on this break, before this break, let's squeeze in this Becky Lynch and Doudrop match. They kind of went a little bit different than I thought it was going to do. Yeah. I honestly was not expecting Becky to win this match. They caught me by surprise with that one. They truly did.
Yeah, they're still trying to run heel Dewdrop, and I find that questionable.
Yeah.
Right now, especially with the way that this match went, I find that questionable because they're kind of in this little stuck between Becky being a face and a heel, and it's kind of weird. But this match wasn't bad per se, though. You know, Becky can kind of carry anyone to a good match, and it's not to say Dewdrop isn't actually genuinely a good wrestler too, because she is.
Yeah. Piper Niven was her name in NXT UK. Go. But no, real talk. Like she's definitely a good wrestler. I do agree with you though that the story of this match and everything like that just kind of fell flat. Like if you want to say anything felt rushed, it was kind of the storyline to this match. Like it just kind of felt like there was just no build up to it. Like
just kind of felt like oh shit, you're the champion, you gotta have you compete.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, and so like I don't know. Like it's one of those things where I wasn't really impressed with. I was impressed with the in-ring work. I was not impressed with the storytelling on this match. So
yeah.
All right. So real quick announcement so people understand before we go to break here. We have officially launched on Live 365 as I did the first. I had the honor of doing the first episode of KD5P on the Live 365 platform. The one thing that we figured out after is that the platform does not archive the shows. So there's no going back and listening afterwards. You kind of have to 100% like be on a listen live, or you don't really get to listen to the show at all. And it sucks because I put on a hell of a show this weekend with a playlist honoring Meatloaf with his passing that I thought was really good. And I tried to go back and listen to it again and it's not there. And unless there is a show on air, pretty much all you'll hear if you go into the 4 Aces radio network on Live 365 is just commercials running on a loop, 120 seconds of commercials running on loop until somebody else clicks on air and jumps on live to do a show. So, but anyway, but you can catch me not this coming up Friday, but the following Friday on the Live 365 4 Aces Presents Network doing KD5P again. I'm going to be doing a melody show with a bunch of just random things going on. A bunch of random songs from the 90s going on. So other than that, thank you guys for listening in to this show as we talk Rumble. And we're still to get to that amazing WWE title match that ended kind of, the Grit couple versus the It couple, which ended exactly the way we expected it to. And then the men's Royal Rumble. All that and more coming up on the second half of the show right here on the Cheap Pop Podcast with K-Double and Alpha. We'll see y'all after the break. Peace. You're listening to the Cheap Pop Podcast right here on the 4 Aces Presents Radio Network. Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever you may find your favorite podcasts. Imagine this. It's Friday night. You're at home wishing you can listen to an amazing playlist of some of your favorite music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Pop, rock, whatever. Then take out your favorite podcast listening device and tune in to KD5P, otherwise known as K-Double's 5th period music class. Every Friday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, K-Double brings you some of your favorite tunes live on the 4 Aces Presents Radio Network on Live 365. It's me, Double KK Double again. This time I'm here to tell you about two of the best sports shows on internet radio. I'm talking about West Coast Bias with me, O'Malley, and The Duel. Occasional visits from an original host, Mr. Swab, and Double K's Classroom, hosted by me. Both shows feature sports talk about teams from the West Coast. So if you get down with West Coast sports, these are the shows for you. West Coast Bias airs every other Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Double K's Classroom airs alternating Fridays at 8 p.m. on the 4 Aces Presents Radio Network on Spreaker.com. Pretty face. That be me on your TV. What's up? It's Double KK Double. I am here with Alpha to talk the big sweaty men, sir. Yes, Alpha.
I'm here with my co-host Rasta Double, here to talk about this Rumble.
It was a Rumble for the ages, man. Rumble for the ages.
Fucking damn it.
All right, so
I love it.
All right, so the next match up was another good match, and
what was it?
It was one that for me,
there we go.
I don't know, like I don't know how to say anything negative about it because it was a great match. Like both showcased their strength, both put each other over. You know what I'm saying? And even though Lashley took the win, Lashley didn't necessarily get the win. And that's where I want to start is with, let me just say this. The advocate is gone. The counsel to the tribal chief is back. All is right in the world, in the WWE world, and we'll see what happens from here.
This match was fucking awesome. I'm going to be very fucking real with you. There's a lot of people who were like, bro, this was exactly like fucking Goldberg versus Lesnar at Mania 33. It was just 10 minutes of dudes beating the shit out of each other. Yeah, and that's fucking awesome.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, this was a fucking hoss fight of two men that look like Greek gods fucking pummeling the shit out of each other for 10 minutes. All capped off with a fucking theatric betrayal. This was the best fucking match on the card. I loved this so fucking much. And if every single Lesnar match is just 10 minutes of him throwing someone around until they stop moving, I'm completely fine with it. And the fact that MVP was thrown in there with this is just a fucking cherry on top.
Oh yeah. And then like, okay. So for those of you who didn't get a chance to see what happened, it was the most beautiful thing in the world. Lesnar ducks, I forget what Lashley went for, but Lesnar ducks it, comes around, Lesnar gets done throwing Bobby Lashley around like a rag doll, like he had been doing for the past about 7 to 8 minutes. Stands up, turns around to go to kind of like get ready to do more damage and gets speared out of his fucking pants by Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
with the most violent fucking spear I've seen in my life.
Then Roman walks over to Paul Heyman in the corner and just puts his hand out. And Paul Heyman hesitates, as Paul Heyman does, plays the character so well, and then proceeds to hand the WWE title to your tribal chief, who proceeds to use it to knock Roman Reigns out. Or not Roman Reigns, but knock Brock Lesnar out. And of course, Roman tosses the championship and grows out the ring. And then you see MVP flagging down Bobby Lashley. Bit him. Do
the shake.
Do the thing. And as Roman walks up the ramp, Bobby jumps on top of the prone beast, gets the 1, 2, 3, and defeats Brock Lesnar to become your new 2-time WWE champion.
Holy shit.
The first and only man to get to have his title taken by Brock Lesnar and actually come back and get revenge.
Holy shit. I was gonna say, the thing about this is Lashley is the only fucking man 2 years in a row to be a transitional champion and make it look fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, Lashley doesn't come off as like, for some reason, I don't know if it's just his look or just the match in and of itself. These last 2 times that this has happened, it doesn't come off as weak or like wimpy or fucking completely predictable like Kevin Nash. No, Lashley looks like a fucking villainous god like this. It's awesome.
And it was a great way to end it, especially when you see the tribal chief walking up the ramp with his council. Like that was just amazing.
But that image was something else.
Now, here's the funny thing, bro. And here's the thing. This is one thing I love about, I'm going to bring it back to something we talked about a couple of weeks ago. This is why I love this particular version of Brock Lesnar. If you watch at the beginning of the match, especially I love the whole scene when Heyman snatches the mic from the ring announcer, like, man, like you could do it better than me. Come on.
Give that shit.
And Paul goes into his spiel, and the entire crowd is doing it, and you're having that moment. He gets done, Brock Lesnar, and if the cameraman was just perfect, and it's just for a split second where you see Brock bouncing there, and he's laughing, he's smiling. He goes, "You hear that? You hear that?" I was just like, that's why I like this version of Brock. That personality, like he gets chills down his spine.
Else, dude, like I don't know. It's just the little shit like that isn't even in his script that I love so much about this Brock character. And I'll be super fast. Like when last year, when Keith Lee comes in and the camera focuses on Lee and you can see Brock mouthing the words, "Big boy," as fucking Keith Lee steps in. It's shit like that that makes me love this Brock so much.
and yeah, Brock Lesnar, congratulations, man. Because the ending of this match and how it went down ended up leading to the ending of the pay-per-view. Okay. And as much as everybody says it doesn't make sense, actually it makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect fucking sense.
What's the first thing they said after the WWE draft about Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar does what the fuck Brock Lesnar wants to do. And this was just another epitome of that moment. Just like day one was, this was another epitome of that moment. Brock Lesnar.
Fucking idea.
Exactly. So we move on from that match to move on to what was in between the men's rumble and this was another great storyline between Edge and the Glamazon, like I've never seen her before, but love seeing her, like with the hair and the look and just kill it, girl. Against the Miz and Maurice. I got to give this match credit. Like I said, great story told. And for a quick minute, had me believing that the It couple was going to walk out with the win. Like, legit had me like, really? Like, no way Edge and Beth lose this. And yeah. Like, it was a lot of
really
great
dope
match.
spots here. I love the spots here. I love double spears. I love the double glam slam, and not just because I am the biggest Miz mark in the world. I am slowly realizing like Miz can really work too.
Yeah.
And in that light, the Miz and Maurice have this really good thing going where they're becoming a like almost a niche kind of act in being able to make the intergender match actually really fucking entertaining and give it like a really good spice of life no matter who they work with. And they've shown over and over again that they can make it new and exciting every single time and put new things into it. And I really like how this came out. I thought this was going to be predictable even for someone who loves the Miz as much as I do. No, he came out of the fucking woodworks as he does with an amazing fucking match out of nowhere. Like the Miz, as he gets older, kind of shows that he's very technically gifted and an unpredictably safe worker.
You have to, and I will say this as we wrap this up on that match, you have to give the Miz credit for one thing. He's the only guy that I've ever met, or not met, but that I've ever seen or met. And maybe that'll change in the future. But for right now, to this point in my life, he's the only person that I've ever seen or met that said in front of the world, I want to be a WWF superstar, and then went and made that shit happen. Go back and watch the tape. It's right there on his season of the Real World.
Go watch the Real World Ohio when he says the Miz is my inner me that I bring out, that I'm gonna pull out when I'm gonna be a professional wrestler.
And the guy went out and found he found his foot in the door with the whole hype man thing that he was doing for SmackDown.
And the fucking Diva Search and all that shit.
And Diva Search, and then proceeded to go on ahead and make and carve himself out a nice little chunk of wrestling career.
As probably one of the best mid-card acts in the last 20 fucking years.
You know? And so at the end of the day, like, I can't not. It's just like with John Cena. Initially, I was on the I hate John Cena roll. When John Cena took over, I was on that Cena hate train. I was like, fuck, dude, I'm tired of seeing this dude in every main event for every championship all the fucking time. But I began, and I'm like, and I'm tired of seeing his 6 moves of doom. You know,
I'm tired of Orton versus Cena fucking number 79.
But now when I look back on those matches, I'm like, damn, dude, Cena could go.
Work. He can work. He was always capable of working.
You know, like, I had to stop taking credit away from the dude because of my personal feelings about how they pushed him. You know, the man deserved every bit of what he got. Nothing that he got, he not earn. You know, and so I'm beginning to find myself saying the same thing with The Miz. Is no matter how much like the dude gets underneath my skin, I cannot deny that the dude has earned every single goddamn thing that he's gotten. The WWE title shots, being in that main event, being a multi-time WWE champion, being a multi-time Grand Slam champion. Like, he has earned every single bit of it. And he earned it by going to one company and doing what he needed to do to get by and earn the respect of the man at the top, and then get to start doing the things the way that he wanted to do them.
He has ground his fucking teeth every single fucking part of the way through.
And now, as Charlotte Flair would say, he's the opportunity. You know, he's putting younger guys over. He's the opportunity now.
Exactly.
Even though I wouldn't call Edge a younger guy, but
I wouldn't call Edge the up and comer, but
I think this match was just how do you say? It was like the Lesnar Lashley match. It was just there because, you know what, we wanted to see this. All the pieces were there. We wanted to see this, so that's what we got. You know, as soon as Edge started feuding with The Miz, I was like, oh, when's Beth Phoenix coming back? You know,
when's Beth Phoenix coming in? No, and that's a good thing, though. I feel like it's a good thing, though. It's a very niche match. I think it's awesome. They work it well. And to cap off before we get into this last match, I do want to say that, like, in my honest opinion, The Miz is such a WWE guy. I think we would first see someone like Seth Rollins leave the company before I see them let go of The Miz, because he is such an ambassador for the company on all fronts.
Oh yeah, he loves. You know, I saw an exchange between him and MJF.
I was gonna say, did you see that?
Yeah, like, that was I felt that was genuine. Like, I think
that, I was like,
he's.
I don't even think that's a work.
Yeah, like I genuinely feel that The Miz is right. Like, MJF has started to become his own person. I think at the very beginning of his career, like, especially during a feud with him and Chris Jericho, it did kind of feel like he was like trying to be The Miz, you know. But since then, he's gotten his own niche. He's doing his own thing, and I appreciate what he's doing. I still don't think he's even close to the top, to the best heel in the game, but he's a great act for sure. Like, he's a great wrestler. You know, I just don't.
Exchange was really interesting.
Yeah, I just don't gig on the guys who stay in character even when they're not in ring. Like, I understand what you're saying, bro, but, like, don't be a dick to everybody. You can still be a heel without being a dick. Like,
yeah, man, don't gotta spit on kids.
Exactly. Cool. So, but at the end of the day, and I think The Miz shows you that. Like, The Miz does a reality TV show where he shows you a completely different side of him. A funny side, but still manages to be the most annoying fucking heel in the WWE today.
Fucking corporation, exactly.
You know, so you can do both, and you can be a cool guy and be a goofy guy outside of the ring and still be. But he's young, and when you're young, you live the gimmick. I hate to say it, but that's how wrestlers learn coming up how to get good, is they live the gimmick. So
the fucking gimmick. I feel that.
All right, so shout out to the Bella Twins, who had a pretty decent showing in the Women's Royal Rumble. I forgot to mention them when we were talking about that. Shout out to them. Like the Bella Twins
Molly
did have a
Holly
decent
and that cool little angle with fucking
Sage.
That was fucking cool. I like that, actually. I liked that.
My girl loved that when she was just like Nikki coming out. Only one of us can be here.
No, I love that. Like, there ain't room for two of us in this ring. No, I like
there's
that
only
shit.
one superhero.
I like that a lot. No, I loved that fucking spot, actually. I would have
loved them to see. It would have been a wasted spot, though. I would have loved them to have Hurricane Helms come out and do the same thing. Like have him come out in the Men's Royal Rumble and then just have her attack him. Only one superhero.
I would have marked the fuck out for that. I would have marked the fuck out for that shit.
There can only be one.
Only one. So good.
But anyway, no, the Rumble was filled with a lot of surprise returns. I wouldn't say a slaughter. There was only really one surprise return, and that was Drew McIntyre. Like everybody else had declared for the Rumble. There was really only one surprise return. Everybody else were just surprise entrants.
There was
like
one
Shane
good
McMahon.
Surprise. I was gonna say there was old poultry in a jersey. Fucking Shane McMahon.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Yeah. That will forever be one of my favorite theme songs of all time.
Unpopular opinion. I fucking love Shane. Shane is the best McMahon.
Poultry in a jersey. And he actually came out and put on a pretty good show.
Oh man. Potato cannon McMahon.
But outside of him, there was he was a surprise interest. Bad Bunny really wasn't that much of a surprise because it was pretty much dropped that he was going to be in the Royal Rumble. I want to say like earlier that day.
Yeah, earlier that day he was announced. Yeah, but fuck everybody shitting on Bad Bunny being in the Rumble. Because I don't care what anybody says. The only celebrities who came into this business and have had amazing matches: A, Stephen Amell, B, Bad Bunny. Prove me wrong.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Amell and Pac at SummerSlam against Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes is a damn good match. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. And I'll have to say this: Bad Bunny last year at WrestleMania, Damian Priest and Bad Bunny versus The Miz and Morrison, great fucking match.
Not Bad Bunny fucking carrying most of the match on his fucking back.
Yep. And for him to hit a destroyer the way he did, like that was beautiful in the Rumble.
God, that was great.
And here was the thing: is Bad Bunny was one of those people like Johnny Knoxville. You know good and goddamn well he ain't winning a Rumble.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to see him like you don't want to see him going and like I want to see you do some things, And so we all know Bad Bunny ain't back for good. Hopefully Shane's back for at least the WrestleMania run.
I hope Shane's back for a spell.
Yeah.
I hope Shane's back for a spell.
And you know what I think? And here's something I think about when I think about Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon has learned the art of small doses.
Yeah.
Like Shane comes back and he's like, okay, I've kind of overstayed my welcome. I'm going to disappear for a while now.
Peace.
And then everybody else is is just kind of there. So I like that Shane has chosen to come back because, like I said, it's been far enough away from the last time that we saw Shane, and I'm actually excited that he's back. And it's one of those things where, I hope he continues to do that, but doesn't get to the point where, like with Vince, where like it was like, dude, like you shouldn't even be in the ring anymore. Just stop. Like I love don't get me wrong, I love the Vinnie Mac character as long as he's not getting in the ring anymore. When he was younger, that was one thing, but now, no, as long as he ain't getting in the ring and taking no bumps, I don't want to see an old man take bumps. That's why I didn't like watching Ric Flair late in his career. I don't want to watch an old man.
That shit made me sad. That shit just made me sad. I'm good.
So,
yeah, man.
But I don't mind seeing him as a GM-like character. But
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, like, I'd love to see him as an exec again. I always love to see that. Last time we saw him was on Raw Underground.
Yeah. Shane O'Mac, with the Raw Underground when they introduced Omos.
Yeah, I forgot. You're
almost
right.
A star.
You're right. Sandbag O'Mac. He's the one that introduced Omos to us.
as the bodyguard or as
Fucking
the
forgot.
door
Back
guard for.
no, that's back when he was Amos.
Yep.
He wasn't even Omos yet.
He wasn't even Omos yet. But man, like, and I think he had it. Speaking of him, I think he had a decent showing in this Rumble, but I think he could have had a better showing.
Yeah, I understand. Like everyone has to have a big guy and flat out. I know that they're trying to build him up to be the next big guy, so they kind of had to give him that spot. It's kind of a given, you know. But that being said, I feel like I'm not gonna say he's not doing enough, but he needs to find his own kind of moveset or something.
Right.
Because he's kind of been going and using the big book of wrestling big guy moves.
Yeah.
I need to see something new. I need to see something impactful. I need to see something new presented with him for me to be fully biting into this at this point for how long he's been here.
Well, here's the thing with him. He was, and here's the issue. And WWE sometimes does this. They get so excited about a dude's size that they throw him out there when he's still super fucking green and just try to let him and protect him in a lot of ways and just try to let him develop in front of our very eyes. And that's basically what's happening with Omos. He was just he's Andre the Giant type big. Like Andre, like let's be real. Andre had some great matches, but Andre's size, because of his size, his moveset was fairly limited. You know, with what he could do. Andre
especially
wasn't really
as he got older, because like I don't know if you saw earlier in career, he used to do drop kicks. He used to do a lot of stuff early in his career, but especially as he got older, absolutely.
And so I think we're sitting in a similar situation with Omos, is that he's limited with what he can do, because like when they tried to have him doing those roundhouses, it just looked awkward because of his size. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather see him do a front thrust kick than a roundhouse. You know, because he just looks awkward doing it. And so I think you're right. But I think the issue is that they're trying not to confine him to the limited moveset of like a Hulk Hogan.
Trying to protect him, yeah, no doubt.
But also at the same time, that's kind of what needs to happen with him right now. Is they need to confine him to that big boot, you know, leg drop, you know, that body slam, you know, that type of limited move set for the time being until he can learn to get more comfortable moving around in the ring. Because it's a lot different for dudes that big moving around in the ring. Even if they're capable, it's a lot different considering that everybody that they face is smaller than them and significantly smaller than them. True. So they have to, very rarely are they going to run across dudes that are same height, same eye, meeting them like almost a Big Show. Like that would be a match to be seen, but it would be a very limited match as far as moves. That is true. But anyway, I went off on a rant there.
No, you're right. You're right. No, my only thing is that like even when Braun Strowman was green as shit, he was bringing in unorthodox shit like the reverse choke slam and the elevated triangle and shit like that. And even I mean, even then he had his like two moves, but even then they were different. And I guess that's where I'm digging. But you are right, though. You are right. I didn't consider the fact that he is still very much fucking green. He is still a lot greener than he should be. That's not to say that he's not doing enough. That's just to say that they put him up a little quicker than he should have been.
Let's be real.
That's not even to say he's doing horribly though. Right. That's not even to say
he's not doing horrible.
Because he's not fucking doing horribly.
But I will say this: he went from the performance center to the main roster because of his size.
Yeah.
Like period. You know, if he wasn't such a monster, if Omos was 6'4", and you know, and a Montez Ford type wrestler, Omos would have went through NXT and then maybe made it up to the main roster later. But since he is 7 foot forever and you know and 300 and something pounds of lean machine, poof, he pops up on the main roster.
That's true.
And what's the best way to protect a big man who's super green? Stick him with a tag team partner who's experienced, who can take most of the punishment for the bulk of the match.
Who can carry him the fuck to glory, i.e. AJ Styles.
So not to say Omos isn't developing, because obviously they felt he's developing enough to split him up from AJ Styles.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say that. That's not to say he's not shown any progress, because he has.
Right.
Absolutely.
But anyway, getting back to looking at the Rumble as fans. So we saw Omos go out. AJ Styles is the one that put him out, obviously. I saw a lot of continuation of feuds in this particular men's Rumble that I liked. You know, things that were done super well. I love the fact that Ridge Holland gets thrown out right before Sheamus comes in to join him. Like he lands at Sheamus's feet as he's walking to the ring. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, what the fuck? But yeah, like that was a great moment. Who was it that threw out? Oh my God, that threw out Sheamus. That was kind of unexpected. There were a couple people that tossed people out, and I was like, wow, okay, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a good few of them, mostly because there was for the first 15 spots, I think there was got a lot of really good there was a lot of fucking undercarders. So we saw people getting just tossed out by these lower card dudes. I was like, oh, holy shit.
Here's what my issue was. Throughout the whole match, I'm like, he's a dark horse. He's a dark horse. He's a dark horse. He's a dark horse. Right? Throughout the all middle of the match. And slowly but surely, as we got down to the final four, all of my dark horses are getting tossed out. And I'm like, what in who? Who's gonna win this thing? Like,
no dark horse? No dark horse?
Like Randy Orton came in. Randy Orton's my dark horse. Like 5 minutes later, bye, Randy Orton. What the hell? What? Fuck. Oh man. I love the fact that Brock Lesnar threw Matt Riddle out by just catching him and dumping him over the top rope. Like, Matt Riddle went for it. Get the fuck off me.
Oh no, not Bad Bunny eating a fucking F5. Not fucking Bad Bunny eating an F5.
That was wow.
I forgot about that.
Like, it had a lot of great moments. Like, and don't get me wrong, Brock at 30 was a surprise to me. Yeah, it was a surprise to me, period. Like
that for me, like, God, I don't know about you, that felt like final villain shit right there. Like that's some top tier antagonist type shit entering at level at number 30 and your theme hits. It was like, oh, like Bison just entered the fucking room.
Here's the thing for me, okay? Here's what I like about it. We all knew that it was going to end up being Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns interfering in Brock's match is enough that most of the WWE officials been like, yeah, okay, y'all can face each other at WrestleMania or at Elimination Chamber or whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
Brock took it to the next level of pettiness about saying, no. I'm about to fucking go win this Rumble, and we gonna see your ass at WrestleMania. Like
you ain't running now.
Fuck the dumb shit. Fuck the trying to ditch and dodge. I'm coming straight for you. You already know who you are. You know what I'm saying?
You are fucked.
And then once again, like we talked about earlier, it reinforced the narrative that Brock Lesnar does what the fuck Brock Lesnar wants to do.
Pretty much.
Like, that's his contract. Brock, just go out there and beat Brock.
Beat Brock. All right.
Brock walks up to Vince after losing the title. I'm in the Rumble at 30. All right, just do what the fuck you want to do. All right.
The only thing about this is, like, fucking Brock winning, I'm fine with it, honestly. Like, I'm not even mad about that. I'll take it. But my only thing is that Brock is Brock. So if he just walked up and he was like, Roman, I want a match at Mania, that's it.
Yeah, he gets a match at Mania.
That's fucking it. And for multiple reasons, that's just it. Like, you don't need to win.
But here's a question I ask of the people who say anybody, it should have been anybody but Brock. Who?
That is true. Who?
Didn't Drew McIntyre just win it 2 years ago?
Didn't Orton just win it 4 years ago?
Yeah. Nobody wants to see Happy Corbin win a Royal Rumble, nor Madcap Moss.
I was gonna say, if Madcap Moss wins shit, I'm done.
Yeah, we've already seen Shinsuke Nakamura win one. The only other person probably outside of Brock that I say I would probably want to see is AJ Styles. That's it. Like, I love the Street Profits, but y'all are still a tag team.
Can't win a fucking Rumble like that.
Yeah. Like we're not playing WWE 2K. Right. You and your tag team partner can't win you the Royal Rumble. No. Like, yeah, I get that.
I do like the idea, though, that Brock won the Rumble, because at that point Roman can't deny him a chance.
Exactly. Roman can't run from it.
At that point, Roman can't run for it. Roman can't say no, because flat out Roman can say no. But at that point, Brock wins the Rumble. Roman cannot say no.
Exactly. It gave a legit storyline reason for Brock Lesnar to force the match between him and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And so like, and and people miss the subtlety of the fact that Brock gets screwed out of the WWE title only to say, only to like convince somebody backstage to allow him to enter the Rumble at 30. And you know what I'm saying? Like people forget that little niche of the storyline. Like, wait a minute, who was the mother
bit of the story? Like, all right, fine. You're taking my title opportunity. I'll get another one.
Yeah, who was the motherfucker backstage that said, all right, Brock, and you know what? I bet you it's going to be Adam Pearce.
I was going to say.
Was the one who put him in the Rumble. Like, Brock just walked up to him, motherfucker, you want me to take some revenge for what you did?
Put me in the fucking Rumble.
Put me in the fucking Rumble.
Brock Lesnar, yo. I'm going to tell Brock Lesnar no.
Remember what happened last time you told Brock Lesnar no?
In the words of James E. Cornette, am I going to fucking fight Brock Lesnar? Double NCAA champion Brock fucking Lesnar? No, I'm not going to fight Brock Lesnar.
No, exactly. Oh, but yeah. So at the end of the day, Brock is heading to WrestleMania to obviously fight Roman Reigns after what happened, which that storyline is going to be beautiful, especially with Heyman back now in the bloodline. I'll say, and then you have Bobby Lashley versus who for the WWE title? I'm thinking we're going to get Bobby Big E again, but I think people will be pissed off to see that.
You think so?
I think people will, because I think people want new blood coming.
Wait, you think we'll see that though?
I think it's very possible that we're going to end up seeing, because Big E had a decent showing in the Royal Rumble, but then again, no, Big E's no longer on Raw.
That is true.
Big E's been officially moved to SmackDown.
He's on SmackDown now. See, there's a lot of room now. I don't think they'll bring in someone new. I think they're going to harken back, though.
Yeah, I think they're going to harken back. We got to think of maybe The Miz now challenges and goes into WrestleMania against Bobby Lashley. And maybe this is his revenge.
Because Lashley did take it from him. You're right.
Yeah.
So now that would be fucking, if that happens.
And then it's said to be, now, even though, which doesn't make sense, even though Ronda Rousey seems to be going to Raw permanently, but then again, I read another article that said she was going to SmackDown. But the prediction for WrestleMania is her versus Charlotte Flair. So I think that she's going to SmackDown. If she does, then that leaves Becky Lynch open for the Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair.
Or to Bianca. Oh yeah, you're right. Because they did say they were going to return to that.
Yeah. So, or, and this would be funny because both would have the ability, and it would be funny as hell if they did this. They found a loophole in the contract and explained that the challenger can challenge both the champions if they want.
Oh no, that'd be fucking.
And so Brock challenges
fucking hellish.
Brock challenges Bobby and Roman Reigns.
Fucking Roman. Oh no, that's best case scenario.
And then Ronda Rousey challenges Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch.
Wait, what's the next Mania coming up?
38. That's in tech. It's in
38.
It's in Dallas.
So I was gonna say, because every 10 years of a Rumble, we end off with a triple threat match.
Yeah.
With the best technician in the company winning.
So we're on WrestleMania 37. So when was the
oh yeah, because I told you about that trend, yeah, because 30 was Daniel Bryan, and then 20 was Chris Benoit, and then 10 was Bret Hart.
So we haven't gotten to 40 yet, so maybe not, but we'll see. We'll see. It would be funny to me if it happened, because Brock was talking about a champion versus champion match. So him coming out and saying he wants to challenge both champions would be hilarious.
I'm into that, though. I'm into that. I think that's best case scenario.
But yeah, so we're one step closer to the next step to WrestleMania, and the last premium live event before WrestleMania is going to be Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia. So that should be good.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm liking it. Like it's interesting to me, man, just watching how WWE is unfolding everything, and I'm here for it. And so, yeah, like I'm here for it. WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania has begun. The road to WrestleMania has begun, for sure. We'll talk some AEW next wrestling show, but I believe Next week, we're looking to talk some Cobra Kai if you've had a chance to finish it.
Yes, I have.
All right, so we'll do some Cobra Kai.
Shit.
Yeah. And we'll also talk some Book of Boba Fett, parentheses, Mandalorian season 3, episode 1.
Parentheses.
Oh man. I'm sorry, but that's
man.
what that most recent episode felt like, and you know what I'm saying. But we'll discuss.
No,
that
it
next
literally
episode.
was like it was. This was literally, hey, you know all those properties we have? We didn't forget.
We didn't forget. We'll talk all that and much, much more. Alpha, as usual, brother, take us home.
Oh, you know how it goes, my people. Royal Rumble season has just came and went, and now we're approaching Mania season. It's going to be a good time coming up. Stay tuned and talk to us some more about some wrestling and some comics next time around. Peace out and be safe.